It took some detective work, but the gang and I managed to track down where Rajan had gone into hiding. Somehow, he'd managed to transform a long-forgotten temple into the thriving center of his spice operation, and it's there where we'll find him. The jungle, too thick to drive through, forced us to walk the long distance to our target. We ran into a few problems along the way, but pushed on. For the temple was more than just Rajan's hideout. It was also home to the Clockwork Heart. A pump so strong and tireless, it could increase spice production tenfold. Good for Rajan, but awful for the rest of the world. Hope he's not counting on that heart too much, because tonight, it comes home with me.
Well, hello, everyone. LadyPhoenix here, and welcome back to some more Slide 2, The Band of Thieves. So, first thing I would like to point out is that this is post-commentary because I don't know what I did yesterday. Well, I know what I did yesterday. I was extremely tired, and I went ahead and recorded and everything, and then I realized that I did my background reduction and all that other R&B and jazz that I do with my audio typically, and then I export the video file. I did not export the video file, so I lost my original live commentary. So here I am doing post commentary, and honestly, it's not so bad because I haven't done post commentary in such a long time. But then again, yeah, I do a lot of crazy crap. Just me trying to get my bearings together for this particular hub world. It's not big or anything, but it is a bit complicated when it comes to the clue bottles because you have to do a lot of climbing and everything in order to get the stuff done. But I do get it done. And honestly, it took me, I think this original video file was 45 minutes. Yeah, and yeah, it took me quite some time, but now that I have the clue bottles out the way, though, it's smooth sailing from here. So it's not too bad. As far as the region, though, I'm still in India. We just had to go find Rajan, and somehow, some way, he found the clockwork part. Like, it was just in this random temple, and he got it, and he's still doing illegal crap. So it's just like, we didn't really stop him. All we really, honestly, truthfully did was, collect the clockwork wings. But, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, Carmelita kind of messed us up a little bit. Well, she kind of had no other choice at the same token, though, because her cover was essentially blown by us. So, yeah. I do not remember this episode at all. Like, back when I originally played it on the Sly Collection on the PS3. I honestly, truly do not remember this world at all. But like I said, it's not big or anything. It's just a little crazy on how you get the clue bottles. I did say by episode 3 or episode 4 it was going to get a little crazy, so I definitely didn't lie on that part. Honestly, it's the more challenging portion of the game, finding the clue bottles in the hub world. And I thought I was crazy at first, but I had to look up and see. You know how the clue bottles make, the glass noise is it's, rocking back and forth. And I was thinking to myself, I said, I have a feeling that the noise is quieter in Slide 2 than it was in Slide 1. Turns out I thought I was going crazy, but turned out it really is quieter in this game. I don't know about the sequels, Sly 3 and Sly 4. I've never played those two, but they are on PlayStation. So it's something that I can look forward to playing on my spare time and bring it to the channel at some point. But considering how long it took me to get Sly 2 to the channel, I would not hold your breath. But like I said in today's video, we're just trying to find all these clue bottles, and like I said, it gets a little rough for me, like for the last 10, because it requires you to go higher up. Right around the 12-minute mark, or a little past the 12-minute mark, there will be a cut, because it was like at that point I said, okay, this is getting ridiculous. Let's go ahead and start cutting so I could, you know, make better use of my time. Well, more so you guys' time. This area is very beautiful. I do love like the dark atmosphere about it. It's actually pretty cool. I do notice that Rajan hired the same goons back. And it's just like they failed massively in your old hideout. Why would you rehire these guys? But it's the same 3 mook style, you know, that guy, and then you have like the goat looking guy, and then the rhino. It's like, why did you not learn your lesson? It's like at this point you deserve whatever bad is coming to you, buddy. But I think the first mission with every mission in every hub world is again a recon mission. So far it was like that for Dimitri and also for Rajan the first time around. I have no doubts that it would, you know, would change. But I'm glad that my memory has been refreshened a little bit, because off screen I was thinking to myself like, okay, I think there's only like 5 maybe 6 clockwork parts. So why is there like, I think there's like a total of 8 episodes of this game, maybe 9, but I'm pretty sure it's 8. I was like, so where's the other, what's the other parts? And I can see the heart is one of them. Maybe the claws would be obvious. So we got the wings and we got the tail feathers, and we're working on the heart now. Trying to think, could it be like beak, talons, eyes maybe? I'm not entirely sure now that I think about it. Now that I'm sitting here just trying to brainstorm and see. I'm not entirely sure. I'll obviously I'll find out as the game progresses, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, there's 2 booby trap treasures. One of them you just saw briefly just now, and that clue bottle I do get later on, because it took, like I said, it took me a while to figure out how the crap do I get to higher ground in this level. I was genuinely confused. I think I do manage to get 2 out of the 3 back to the safe house. But I didn't get the 3rd one, which is fine. I think every episode has 3 treasures that you need to take back to the safe house for money, which you're definitely gonna need, especially if you're going for all the trophies, because some of the trophies require you to use certain gadgets from the guys in order to get them. Obviously they're not required. Obviously, you know, trophies are just for the satisfaction's sake, but I try to 100% games or platinum games if it's doable. Yeah, I screwed up right there. And I was right here at the safe house. I was trying to run away and I was like, I want to try to get out of here. And turns out I was at the safe house. So I was just like, crap. Very weird way to, get to it, but it's not as simple as the previous two episodes were, but that's okay. And there's I think it's that tower over there that you hop onto. You can see it briefly over to the right. But yeah, I for some reason had trouble getting on this truck. And I didn't want to approach the front of it because that's where our first mission is at. But I ended up getting on there. I probably made this kind of, harder on myself than what things needed to be. It wouldn't surprise me if I did things that way because, it's me. But I do manage. I do manage. It's that tower right there ahead of me, over to the right now. I didn't even realize that that's what you need in order to get to like very high, to like the higher grounds of the level. But I found it out later. And I was struggling here because I was like, I don't know if I can make this jump, but turns out I can. So that's cool. And then I think it's one back here. I'm pretty sure it is. Like I said, once I get to like the last 10 kind of really tripped me up. So I was confused. And then I think we'll actually head off into that sewer looking area later on. So there's that bottle. I think I try to, just jump across. I don't have much faith in slide. Coming up on our very first cut. So it took me a little doing. I don't know if it's intended to get this clue bottle this way, but I did manage to get up there. And that is clue bottle number 14. So almost halfway there. And I do notice that there's one up there. It's a few that I've seen in my peripheral, but I didn't get because it's, like I said, it's on higher ground. And it kind of, took me a little bit to finagle slide into getting there. And like I said, this is just me just checking my surroundings because I don't think you can get on top of those water wheels. I think they're moving extremely too fast for you in order to do that. So, yeah. And I do try to get this vase back to the safe house. I don't know if I actually do it though. So I'm not entirely sure. I think one of the booby trap ones, like I said, I think I did manage to get it to the safe house, but I think I ended up cutting it out because I felt like it was kind of unnecessary to show off. And I think the only reason why I'm showing this is because I think I do get a clue bottle. Yeah, up here. That's what I thought. But I decided, I was like, I'm going to just try to take this to the safe house and get some money off of it, which I believe I did. I think it's either crystal vase or glass vase. I'm not entirely sure what it was called, but I think it was one of the two, and it was worth a little over 400 coins. So, not bad. Stupid rhino guys got such a large vision, and then you got to deal with it. This was a tight situation right here because I had 3 enemies. Also, if you hear some slight boom, 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 and I don't know exactly what's going on, and I see that, and I thought this was just floating, but no, it didn't load up. Oh, but back to the boom, boom, boom. Neighbors are tripping. I don't understand. I don't know. But then again, they can probably sometimes hear me whenever I do commentary. Oh, I lost my face. Oh, crap. Well, that sucks. Here I am trying to make extra money, some extra coin. And yeah, that had to happen. Sucks. It's like 5 enemies, dude. Dude, you still, thank you. I'm like, dude, why aren't you gone? And like I said, this is just me just trying to get my surroundings, getting my bearings back together. And like I said, just trying to find clue bottles. There we go. So I am coming up on a couple of more cuts. There's one a little, it's actually two actually, around the 16 markish. I think it's like 1602 and then like 1630, something like that. It's weird watching me play this back and commentating. It'd be all right. I think it's one straight ahead here. I just don't see it yet, but I think it is one. Yeah, there it is. I just didn't see it. Just have to get up on it real quick. But I'm coming up on another cut here. That tricky thing. And yeah, that one was a little weird. But coming up, approaching another cut here in just a few seconds. I think this is the part where I get to higher ground. Well, when I finally figured it out. Yeah, so this is the tower that I was talking about that was near the truck. You see the truck in the background with the Sly Cooper insignia, holographic insignia, indicating the next mission. So this is how I get to higher ground. It branches off into like one-way stumps, and then it also branches off onto, you know, on top of this area here, which I was like, oh, thank God, because I could not figure it out for some reason. Like I said, I did have a particularly long day at work. That's the woes of, you know, working full time, but it is what it is. It's okay. I got to stay on top of my YouTube stuff because generally I like to do personal gaming on the weekends and do YouTube stuff during the week. Sometimes I do slack off a little bit during the week, depending on how far ahead I am in videos. And just in case when I have those type of moods, I never know when I'll be in the mood or when I know I'm going on vacation. I try to stay on top of things. I know, for instance, Metaphor, I'm at a point where I have to like level up like crazy. And if I don't, I'm gonna kind of hinder my progress. So I think I do manage to get this booby trap item to the safe house. I think I do manage to do that. I was just like, I'm gonna go ahead and take a chance and take it to the safe house, or at least make an attempt, because if I do end up losing it, I didn't want to climb all the way back in that tree to get this particular booby trap again. And I do make it. I think it is a guy up here though. Yeah, that guy was up there. I just smacked him real quick, went ahead and sold the item real quick. And then we're gonna be approaching another cut. All right, so back on the tower, there's, like I said, there are one-way stops in the trees. I think this is one of them to these clue bottles. You just go to it and then it forces you to go down, so you have to constantly jump and twirl in order to get back up, which is weird, but it works. And then here's another one. And then there's going to be another cut approaching, because at this point I got to figure, I was looking at that route to figure out how the heck do I get over there. And this one I heard this one, and I think there's another one that I didn't know where it was at, but I knew it was somewhere over here in this vicinity. And I said, oh, there it is right there. But I think I ended up running into some enemies, and that's why I made the cut. And then I have another cut coming up. I think this one is on a vine. Oh, wait, no, it's not on a vine. It's just down there chilling. Douche. All right, next cut coming up. This is the vine one, I think. Yes, I'm pretty sure it is. Because I was like, where the heck is this bottle? And it was on this vine. Yeah, Sly was tripping. And then we got one more cut to go over, and then that will be it. And there it is right over there. It wasn't particularly hard to listen out for these particular clue bottles, because I think the atmosphere is way, kind of like laid back, opposed to the last episode. But this is me. The rest of the video, the last couple of seconds, is me just trying to get a safe spot to end the video. But as far as me talking, this is it. This is the video. Next video, we are going to start the episode proper and try to come up with a plan to stop Rajan's illegal spice operation once and for all, get the Clockwork Heart, and move on to the next Claw Gang member. So if you'd like to see more Let's Plays or weekend walkthroughs from the channel, please be sure to click on the links in the description below. But until then, you guys take care and have an awesome day.